Before I really get started today, I want to go ahead and give you a little bit of practical wisdom and advice here this morning. I want you to understand something, that the system that we all find ourselves in and what we're living in today, they already understand very well how it works. It's just that we don't understand it because we have opted into it and submitted to it for so long that we automatically assume that everything that they tell us, every document we sign, every contract we agree to is for our protection, our best interest, as well as theirs. But the truth is, there's a lot of things, brothers and sisters, that we all submitted to, ladies and gentlemen, that is not in our best interest. But what it did was just bind us secretly. And of course, anytime you sign a government document, don't believe for 1 minute that all the terms to that particular individual contract is disclosed to you. As a matter of fact, I've learned over the years, anything that the government has you to sign, there's a whole, probably another, anywhere between 100 to 500 pages connected to the back of that document. What you get is the short form. I don't care what it is. Marriage license, driver's license, mortgage, a home, when you're buying a home, and it makes no difference. It's all totally irrelevant. Sign up for a bank, a checking account. I mean, they are just using and abusing us. And of course, what's going on today? Well, they've used this paper Ponzi scheme, which is called Federal Reserve notes, to actually steal the wealth of people. And if you've grown up in this generation, and if you're at least 40 years old, you already know that you didn't grow up learning about what sound money is. You've been trained to believe that greenbacks is money. Nobody ever really told you too much about silver and gold, and that's what they expect. They don't expect people to go back and do any individual research or independent thought or thinking whatsoever at all, and they do not ever expect for you to go and check them out. And that's amazing. Government feels like that it has the need, big brother, to know everything that there is to know about you because they have to protect themselves from you. And after all, the only reason why government exists is because we have all this heavy taxation without representation. Now, you can just assume that these people up there in the Congress represent your best interest, but I can tell you right now, and you're finding out a very painful lesson, that you are far from their interest. Their interest is the corporations that line their pockets with currency, not us. And their job is to manipulate us and to get everything they can out of us. If you notice, the rich, they don't make money off each other. They make money off the backs of the poor, the middle class, who is doing all the labor. That's why I teach you. You have to learn how to change, and you have to learn how to shift this paradigm, the way that we've all been under this illusion to think and believe. Because they're not about to tell us what we need to know. Now, they know it, but you don't know it. And it's a painful learning curve. And it's a head-on collision. It's a rough train wreck. But when you do find out what's going on, all of a sudden, it's amazing. Whenever you start changing your course in life, and you start changing the way that you think, and you change the way you do things outside of the norm, everyone that has been trained and everyone that has been manipulated, coerced, and controlled by the system who support this system, they end up being some of your greatest enemies. You just woke up. You understand completely what's going on. I don't care if it's religious, social, political, economic. It makes no difference whatsoever at all. You understand. You got it. Now you look like the sore thumb out of joint because you're informed and you're starting to do things to preserve yourself, your family, and those around you who have the ears to hear. And I'm sure you learned by now, everybody don't have those ears. It is my hope. It is. It really, truly is. That you don't depend on this system that's sinking right now. My advice is, my own personal advice, this is what I do. I keep enough money in the bank for operating expenses, and that's about it. If it's not in my hand, I don't own it. I don't control it. If I put what I call the little piece of wealth that I've got, which is not too much at all, and I put it in somebody else's hand, I'm entrusting them to actually store my wealth for me, which I can very much preserve myself. Somebody say, well, what if? Well, what if there's a bank holiday? and you go to your bank one day and they close down and you can't get your money out of the bank? What if that? What if they confiscate your safety deposit box for those of you who have an extraordinary amount of wealth? You know, we're so conditioned to think about what our other people, our neighbors next to us, and we have to defend and protect ourselves from them. But who's going to defend us and protect us from the government that has made all these laws, rules, and regulations? Who's going to defend us and protect us from a police system that has literally just gone rogue and gone wild? And I talk to police every now and then, and there are a couple of what you call good cops, but there's an extraordinary amount of bad. And they'll tell you that they go to work with a chip on their shoulder, actually thinking this is some type of dichotomy of us against them, and they function like that. So you notice when they pull you over, like Jason before says, they'll go and touch the back of your vehicle to put a thumbprint on there in case they get jacked or something happens wrong to them. That way they can be able to track you down. But if you notice, this system is doing everything it can to protect itself against us, the people, when it should be the other way around. I mean, after all, isn't that why the Constitution is written? I mean, the Constitution is there to actually warn us against a tyrannical government gone mad, gone wild. And we're past that point. We're watching the European setup collapse all around us. We're watching. And the first thing that goes in any country, any system, is the money supply, the money system. It goes, and it goes hard. And most of us, we still gonna run around with our heads stuck in the sand. You know, sad part about it is that most of us, we got this hoarding spirit that we act like if we just hold on to it because we've developed some type of mind of conscience to think that that's a safety net for us. We have to protect ourselves and preserve ourselves and everybody. But you know what? What if what you got is a medium of exchange, but yet you're not able to go and exchange it? I teach people all the time that what you need to do is invest in people who you can trust. And that is the truth. There are very few people that you can trust, and your family is not one of them. And that's just the truth. And I hate to say it that way, but it's just the truth. I mean, it's a painful lesson I've learned over the years. But there are trustworthy people. You know, example, number one, you need to start developing relationships with trustworthy people, people who you can trust, who have your same interests in mind, who understand like you do, because there's only a few of us informed people. Everybody's not going to receive this, nor accept this, nor will they wake up. You need to develop mutual assistance groups where you can set up something where you can assist each other. You need to get around, no matter how much the cost is. You need to try to find some land, get around those of like mind, like precious faith, because that's ultimately going to be your protection from a WROL, world without rule of law, because divided, we are easily to be conquered. But when we stand together, it's very, very hard, very, very hard to defeat a people that is collective in mind and thought, in body and in spirit. And that's just the truth. What I'm saying, even the churches out there, and definitely the government and the bank, they don't want you to hear this stuff, because you know why? This is something that has been lost for so long. It's called common sense. Consider what I say, and I hope that you get understanding. There are very few people that have the integrity of heart and of spirit, because you know, we have so many thoughts submitted to the mind, and so many reservations, so many fears that pop up and that inundate our thought pattern on a daily basis, that unless you are willing to make the conversion and change and understand that what you're doing is not working, there are some honorable people out here that really truly have your best interest in mind. And those of us who think alike, and those of us who understand, you know, it takes a concerted effort from all of us in order to develop this thing and get unity of strength. It really, truly does. Reservations, fears, doubts, unbelief, all of those are designed to paralyze you from making the next leap of faith forward. And it's going to leave you by yourself, separated from the people who have fidelity working in their lives. I hope I said something to inspire you. I really, truly have. I'll come back and I'll talk to you a little bit later on today. But y'all have a good day and consider what I said. Watch this video a few times. And I hope that you get understanding.